So I'm a medical doctor by training, and that was my education. So while I was working as a medical doctor, I realized that one of the problems of being a doctor is you can only help patients one after the next, one by one. And there's a problem of scalability. And so I think developing technology, and especially in health tech, kind of solves that problem, which is you can actually use your creativity and innovation to build technology at scale and help many, many more people than an individual doctor could by practicing regular medicine. So that was the main reason. It was not an easy decision to make initially while working daily in the hospital, but I am a passionate follower of the United Nations reports and WHO, World Health Organization reports, and I kept reading and studying about the massive inequalities in global health, especially about the huge global diagnostic gap that we're suffering nowadays. And so I realized that 50% of humanity has no access to a medical diagnosis. By setting up a company, you actually have to set up a company if you want to really accomplish those goals. So if you want to leverage data science as we're doing to provide a diagnosis, a company is the best structure to actually pursue those goals. And so that was necessary for us to create the impact that we actually wanted to create. I think that is the key, most important thing that you have to solve as an entrepreneur in the early days of your startup. And so I was lucky enough to have one of my best friends that was working with me as a medical doctor in the hospital that was also creative and that really wanted to create a global impact. And so he became my medical director, the chief medical officer of Medbrain, and that is Omar. And so that covered the medical expertise kind of side of things. And then the technological aspect, I was very fortunate to meet software development and digital partner, software development company and digital partner called Lambda Loopers, whom are based here in Barcelona. And they have a very, very strong technological background with PhD level engineers, back-end and front-end full-stack engineers, analytics experts, and we partner with them since the very beginning, and we've been doing tremendous work together. I think it is focusing on getting the team right. So it's very related to your previous question, because my main focus in the very, very beginning was knowing that I was working with the right team to turn the vision that I had in my mind into a reality. And I knew that if I didn't surround myself with the exact expertise, so the people with the specific skill sets, that would not be a reality. And so a year later, in hindsight, I think that this was the right decision, which is focusing on your team 100%, and then the rest of the things will follow. So as an entrepreneur, the best advice I've been given is if you have a very, very specific vision, to follow your vision with a passion. Nowadays, the healthcare sector is mostly ubiquitous, abundant with data science. And so I think a very important advice for someone who wants to really help out, have a large-scale impact in the health tech sector nowadays, is they have to understand that healthcare is now about data. You have to absolutely fall in love with your journey. You have to love what you do. If not, you're not going to work hard, and then you're not going to succeed. As I said before, but I think it's the most important thing by far, is your team, is your business family, and it has to be an essential part of it. And apart from love and team, it's all about the customer, really. And so if the faster you iterate and the faster you get reviews and you get actual feedback from your users, the more insights and the more knowledge you're going to receive. And so loving what you do, having the best team possible, and loving your customers and listening from your customers, I think are the three key advices. Something I would have loved to know is how much work it goes into the legal aspects of things when it comes to healthcare entrepreneurship. So I actually, because of my ignorance in the very, very beginning, I had no idea that we would be working so hard with our legal partners, all of our IP lawyers, intellectual property registration, patents, trademark offices, many different contracts. So there is a lot of work, and also a big part of your budget that will go and that will have to be allocated in all of the legal aspects of things, especially in health tech sector where there's so much regulation, certifications, apart from IP registration. So we have our short and our long-term milestones. The most important short-term milestone is to bring the product into a real clinical scenario, because we now have a fully functional product and we have validated it and it works. But we need to validate it in low-income nations, which are our target nations. So our next step, short-term milestone, is to pilot test Medbrain in low-income nations, hopefully with a corporate partner that can help us deploy our product there as soon as possible, and also at a certain scale.